Hello everyone, this is Ali and we are going to continue our tutorial on RPG core system. If you recall, in previous episode I had started using Mecanim. I had done some R&D between these two episodes. There are few problems that I'm encountering with, but we'll try to solve it with the system we have now. If we could not solve it at the end of the road, no big deal. We will find a way to move our character around. But something came up. Now, let's take a look at my RPG player motor. Open it. Okay, and let's take a look at our prefab player. Now, you may not notice what is going on. Oh, by the way, before anything else, Josh had asked me what should I do and put for mouse scroll wheel. Buddy, Josh, it's a default input axis in Input Manager, and you don't need any number in any of these. I will keep it on the monitor, mouse space scroll wheel with capital S, capital W, gravity 0, dead 0, sensitivity 0.1, none of the checkboxes, type is mouse movement, axis is third axis, and joy number get motion from all joysticks. Okay, that is the input you need to do. He was confused about that, and I never thought someone would miss that. Okay, the thing that I am going to do maybe confuse you guys, but honestly, forward axis is horizontal. Well, when I say horizontal, I mean left and right. Vertical means up and down. Left and right is this. Simply swap them. So now forward axis is vertical, strafe axis is horizontal. That makes much more sense because you want W and S on keyboard to mean vertical, and A and D are horizontally aligned on keyboard. Anyway, back into the code. In RPG player motor, now that we swept horizontal and vertical, and I need to fix it here too. Now we need to go into fix update and sweep these two too. So this is input Y and input X. You wouldn't notice this until a bit farther down the road. When I start using Mecanim, I was confused because I saw, oh god, I'm hitting W and S and my character is not moving, but when I'm hitting A and D, my character is moving forward and backward. So I searched and I found that was the reason. Okay, that is being done. Now we can start using Mecanim. First of all, I will rename this guy from character motor to character. Much more sense. If you didn't watch my tips and tricks video, go do that, because now I am going to Alt insert mono, and this will be player input, and bam, I will have my class. Okay. Now in player input, what do we have is for time being, two public variables. One is public key code jump equals to key code dot space. Another one, public key code for use equals to key code dot what? Let's use E, word. Then what else do we have? We have public static, as always, player input, calling it instance, and in private methods I think I put, yeah, in start we can say instance equals this. So now we have access to that. Okay, next I want another script called RPG animator, and I don't call it RPG player animator because I want to be able to use the same animator script on NPC and enemy. Now variables here will be public float, walk speed with set and get, so it's a property. Another property, public float strafe speed, and again set and get. I don't like how I'm spelling that. I used to have get and set. Let's see, this will save me a bit of time. Okay, the next one will be a game object that will be used later called anchor, and again that's a property. And finally public static, you guessed it, RPG, RPG animator instance. Now we will need a private variable, and that would be private animator in start method. First of all we will say instance equals to this, then we will say animator equals to get component animator, and finally we say animator dot apply root motion equals to false. We don't want any root motion because we are handling the motion of the character ourselves. Next up, okay, we need to start doing stuff inside the Unity now. So I'll save this guy. Oh, by the way, I will go back into player animator, and now that I know that I have two other components, one of them being animator that we need, another one will be player input we need, and the last one will be of course RPG animator we have. Okay, now going back to Unity, we wait till the scripts get compiled. And by the way, I'm using, don't ask me how did I got my hand on it, Unity 4.6 beta 9. I transferred here and I have a bit of problem regarding this guy, and I will show you what I mean when the time comes. I'm not sure if that is a bug in Unity 4.6 now, or if I'm doing anything wrong yet. Come on, compile please. Okay, so first of all we need a player input. Yeah, no, not there. Okay, we need a player input a script. The reason why I use player input with key codes is that any scene designer can control the controllers for the game. Another one is RPG animator, and we should already have, we don't have any. You sure of that? Why we don't have any? Because this is an empty player. Oh gosh. Okay. In paid assets, models, Archer. Come on, show it. Okay. Rig should be humanoid, and we should have, okay. So I'll put the guy here. Selecting that, it's 0, 0, 0, everything's good. I'll delete this guy. Hey, okay, and it has animator, it has the avatar on itself. You see that we need a controller. We'll come back to that very soon. And I don't need you, but I need my RPG, character, player, motor. Everything's there, okay? The only thing I need to do is reduce the radius to 35, I think, maybe. Yeah, good. Center 1.001. That's a trick I learned, because now when we go into the zero space, it won't fall down. That little number there saves us a lot of trouble. Okay, everything else should be okay, and let's call this guy player, and as one person out there called it, let's prefabify it, replace, and we have everything's there. Okay, now delete this guy. Okay, this is a new scene. I will go and, yeah, you see we have create new GUI stuff, train. I'm not a good train designer by all means, not at all, sir, but let's give it a try, huh? So opacity, art brush, very art brush. I will just make some bumps, some stuff all around the world. Okay, and by all means, this is a harsh word, believe it or not, because if I drag and drop player now into the scene, you see how small he is compared to the scene. Not bad, huh? But meh. So deleting the player, going back to train, using the smooth, and I will smooth it a lot. You don't need any harsh detail there. This is not a very bumpy word. At least I want it to be like that. Few heels here and there, nothing more. I will play with this map more and more as the time comes, but let me make a plateau here. Okay, and now rise the around surface. Can you guess what I'm going for making here? I bet you know. Okay, and going to smooth it here. Ah, that's it. Smooth, not that. Smooth. Come on, smooth, smooth, smooth. I want some slope that I can run on top. This is too harsh for our player. He won't be able to move there. Come on, this is not a train sculpting tutorial. Come on, work for me, will you? Why not working? Okay. Sometimes I really hate the tools they gave us for the train, but we have nothing else to work with. And let's start using a harder brush. At least this should help a bit. Yeah, okay. I hope we can run that hill. And did we lose? Yeah, we lost. Okay. With very smaller brush size, I want what the heck? It's not working, it's not working. Oh yeah, it's working. I was holding the wrong key there. Okay. And small brush for smoothing this edge. There we go. That should serve us. Now, if I put the player there, yeah, good big enough plateau to try everything. Okay. And I will create an empty game object calling it player spawn. I will drag and drop it onto player, zero it out, and then of course dragging it out of player because we don't want that. Deleting this guy, and if I select and use the keyboard, yep, I will move it a bit on top just to be safe, a tad bit. Okay. Now game object empty, it doesn't matter where it is because it's our manager, and we add the component to it. Manager scene. Okay. Now here we need a spawn point. This is our spawn point, and the prefab, this is our prefab. Okay. I don't like what I have here because now I don't know where the player spawn is, but we will work on that later. Okay. Now if I play the game, I should be able to have the player in place, and camera and everything should work. Come on, will you? Are you working? No, you are freezing. Come on, work for me. Pausing the video. Okay, we came back to game. Yeah, as you see, okay, I have the camera. Yep, everything's working, although you won't notice I'm rotating around properly now because the train has nothing on it. But if you look at the scene view, I'm working, moving back and forth, left and right, everything is working. Okay, I have some problem. What the heck now? What? 155. Ignore all. Ouch. Run access. Oh wow, it didn't input our project. Okay, yeah, true, because yeah, you know. So what access? Oh, black screen. Okay, we need run. Yeah, it didn't import it. Interesting, because this is exactly imported project from Unity previous version, but it didn't work. Okay, so horizontal, and we have jump. I will duplicate it from there. Space for this, we had R keyboard for running toggle, and this is how you mimic a keyboard. 1000 keyboard or mouse button, x-axis, get motion from all joystick. Okay, what else do we need? We have the jump, I already saw that. Slide, and sliding, it's a tag, so everything should work now. Was that the reason for that freeze? I'm not sure. So first let's save the scene, so that if I lost the game or editor, I won't be angry. And I will say open environment. Yep. Okay. And now save the project. Now I want a bit of texture somewhere. Add a texture. Select. What do we have for the ground? What type of ground should this be? How about you? Yep. And add. So we have this ground. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Because now I want yeah, it's showing itself much better now. Okay, not here. Free, standard, Water Pro. I'm using Water Pro, but you can use Water if you don't have Unity Pro. And yep, need to scale it. Yep. We need to move it higher. We need to scale it non-uniform now. I need to rotate it a bit. And let's scale it more. Oh, be careful not to move around there. Higher. No, there we go. And a bit on this side so that we don't see that edge. Okay, so we have our water too. There is a reason that I'm using water. Okay, now let's play. And we are working. Okay, run. We are running, and we have our water. Such a harsh slope. I'm not sure if I can move around. Honestly, without a character, whoa, what's going on? Without a character on the map, it's you, yeah. Very harsh edge here. Okay. It's really hard to tell what is the scale of your scope. For example, when you see this, you say, okay, it's a small scene there, but look at the hugeness of this platform. I'm running and I'm not walking. This is walking. This is running, okay? How about this side? Yeah, still harsh steps. I will slide. I know I will slide and I will lose the control. Way! Nice. At least now we see game in motion. Now you may notice that sometimes, very rare times, I penetrate the ground. That is not avoidable. You need to use something other than train if you want to cover that. But now I should be able to. Will I slide here? No, good. Good. So this is the slope I can control myself, and yeah, okay, there is a reason that we have the steep water. Okay, good enough. Add a game object, and that would be a directional light, and we want to rotate it a bit so that we have somewhat afternoon, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, better environment, better lighting. This character is seriously dark by itself. Yeah, I need to work on this scope, slopes again, but yeah, okay. So where's my main camera? Would you please move there, because I want to see that scene. Rotate like that and move there. Yeah, at least now I have somewhat a view of what is going on. Okay. Yeah, now let's work on our character. If you recall, after few minutes of playing with the scene, we have our animator. An animator needs a controller. Now let's make another folder and call it controllers. Okay, inside the controller, right click, create animator controller. Okay, and we call it player. No, not like that, like this, player. And in our prefab, we drag and drop this player to here. Okay, now in here, if I double click, a window like this will pop up. Yeah, come on, I want you to be separated. Okay, like this. This is the heart of Mecanim. We will work a lot in here. So what is the very first animation we want our player to be in it when the game starts? Of course, all the time it's idle. It's screwed up because, okay, this is our idle. It's a very long animation and I don't like it. I maybe like it to the point of, okay, here maybe a little short. What is that? What the hell? It's very slow moving. Okay, we go with idle, whatever it works. So I open the animation, coming down, dragging and dropping idle here. Okay, now let's play the game just by that. Hey, our character is idling, in fact, and yeah, it's playing the idle animation. Okay, now what is the next thing we want to do after idling? This network will become much more complicated later, but we want to move around. Well, instead of dragging and dropping idle, I could create an empty state and then dragging animation to here, from here to here. Okay, that's the same thing, but one more thing that you have is blend trees. This blend tree will be our locomotion, or instead of that I would say forward locomotion. Okay. Now, when do I want? Oh, I want to go from idle to forward locomotion. Okay. I can make a transition by right-clicking here and clicking here. The transition itself, if I play, you will see that as soon as I hit this point, the character goes down. Yeah, it goes into neutral binding pose because I have nothing in locomotion tree. When I double clicked and came inside the blend tree, I will say this forward. I can now hit back here on base layer and go back. Okay. Now, how the hell should we idle to forward transit? We have exit time. It means that if my animation on idle ended or got to 98% of its animation, then jump to this. We don't want that. We want to do something else, but we don't have anything else. So we come here, add a float parameter. Let me check the name. What did I name that guy? What did I name that guy? Someone tell me. Okay, it's speed. Okay, we put speed and we say, hey, if speed is greater than 0.001, very small number, then go to that transition. Also, we want to come back from transition, from locomotion to idle if the speed now is less than 0.001. Okay, so now the idle will play forever unless we somehow tweak this number of speed and put it above 0. It will go into forward locomotion. But before doing anything else, we want to see the forward locomotion by itself. We have different types of blending. The very easy one is the 1D. 2D dimensional, simple directional is a bit harder. And I personally like this because now I can say, hey, add another blend tree here. God damn it, I want to be able to choose between walk and adding another blend tree. That was walk, this one is run. Okay, now that I think about it, yeah, that's good. Okay, how do we transit between these two? It says automatic threshold. No sir, I don't want automatic threshold. I will put 6 here, sorry, 11 here and 6 here. Where did I got these numbers? Well, if you recall, that I'm not sure if you remember, on RPG motor we used walk speed as 6, run speed as 11. That's the reason. If you put, for example, 3 and 10, then you would need to put 3 here and 10 here. Okay, so watch what happens as soon as I put it here. Why did it stuck at 8.5? I'm not sure. 6 please. 6. Oh, okay, 6. Come on, automatic threshold. Yeah, that's the proper way. Okay, now what happens to these two colors? I'm not sure if it will be captured properly, but when I move my speed from 6 to 11, the walk gets darker and run gets highlighted a bit, just like that. That means which one is being used in those trees. Okay. Also, if you look at here, the slider is presented here too. Okay, back to walk. Now in walk, I want to be able to walk forward right, and walk forward left. Okay, means if I'm going to strafe, and that's another float for you, I will change my walk behavior depending on the strafing. Also my run will use strafing. Okay, in walk now, instead of blend tree, we add 3 motion fields. Okay, going back to animations, walk animations. I have 2 different sets. All these ninja that you see came from let me recall the name, Character System version 5 package. It's a paid asset. Okay, the animations that I'm using is irrelevant to this tutorial. You can choose the free versions or these guys, but I prefer it. Okay, so the walk forward, or I should say the direct forward walk, is the middle one. Okay, the walk left, I'm not sure which one of these are. Okay, yeah, it's walking left. Okay, and it's walking right. Good. Now the top one will be negative. It means when I hit the A key, so it's walk left, and I can't drag and drop like that. I need to open it and choose walk left and move it here. And of course the bottom one is the positive, so it's when the D key is being hit. But you may say, hey, it's going from 0 to 1. No sir, it will be -1 to 1. Okay, that's simple. Now you will see that if I hit play, the character will start walking because my strafe is 0. As soon as I move the strafe to the left or to the right, my character will move to the right or to the left, or straight or slightly to this side or that side. Okay, sorry. We will do the same thing with run. So in run, we add 3 motion fields, and we will use -1 to 1. We go into run. Do we have ninja runs left and right, or should I use this guy? Yeah, I should use this guy. So straight in the middle, left on top, and right on bottom. Okay, so now if I play the animation and I put the speed up, so I'm running. Okay, you see that it's running straight forward. Okay, as soon as I move toward the right, it runs right, toward the left, it runs left. Okay, good, dandy, nice. But nothing will happen because these 2 numbers are set just by default. So even if I play the game now, yeah, why are you doing this? Because I foolishly set this guy to that. Okay, so if I play this, the character will idle, and if I move, hey, where did my run go? But you saw that few seconds ago he was walking. Okay, what we need is to come here. Okay, come on, too many windows open there. We need to handle the movement of our character. Where should we do that? Well, we are calculating lots of stuff here. Let's start from top. I will need a boolean. So private boolean, it says running. Another one will be a public. You will see why I'm using it here. So walk speed, run speed, and public float backward speed, and I will put 2 here. Okay, next up we will go into, let me check fixed update. We don't do anything here. We are going into update, I think. Yep, everything happens in update. We don't want to do things in fixed update because fixed update is not calling every update. We want it to happen in fixed update. So when we are toggling the run, we say running equals to not running. This will flip the running from false to true and true to false. Okay, after that we say if we are not running, okay, we will set the speed equals to walk speed. Then we say if input that get access the access we are using is forward access. I'm doing a bit ahead. I'm going ahead of myself, but whatever. If we are going backwards, okay, we say speed equals to backward speed. What the hell is the problem here? If input that get access, not button. Okay, so what I had done here is that I'm checking if I'm running. Okay, if I'm running, I will check if I'm walking and I hit the run. If that's the case, I will set the speed to run. If I'm not toggling the run, it will be walk speed. But the problem was, without checking for this boolean flag, if I start walking backwards then forwards without running, I would walk with the speed of backward speed. So I had to check it, double check, and change it to backward if I'm moving backward, else I'm moving forward. And if I'm running, then I'm tweaking it. If I'm not running, then it's okay. Now we say if we want to change those numbers. Remember, we say RPG animator that instance dot, you remember we had two properties, equals to input dot get access forward access multiplies by speed, and RPG animator dot instance dot now strafe speed equals to input dot get access strafe speed. What was that? Strafe axis. Okay, we had done our part in RPG Animator. Sorry, RPG Player Motor. We need to go into RPG Animator, and first thing we do in update, we say, now that we cast the animator, we can say animator.setFloat. You see, it gets int and float, string and float, string, float, 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 whatever we want. This, we say, the one we had for speed, this name is representative of this name. Okay, so here we are setting that parameter in the controller with animator's walk speed. Also, we say animator that set float. The one we want is strafe with strafe speed. Okay, now with just doing these few lines of code, if I go to the game, let's see what happens. The character should stay idle. Let's go into our locomotion. As soon as I hit W, oh come on, why didn't you compile? What the heck is wrong? Huh. New bug. So I'm setting the walk speed, strafe speed. Here I'm saying the animator dot set float, animator dot set float. Okay. Moving it down. Maybe it didn't compile properly. Sometimes it happens in 4.6. I get errors on compiling. Sometimes it doesn't compile. Anyway, it's a beta version. Let's see if it works, or did I miss anything? Yeah, you see? Okay. So we are idling. As soon as I hit W, I start walking, and I'm walking forward right, walking forward left. How do I know that? Because my character is a bit moving to the right and left. Okay, backward, still not working, but running, hey, we are running, and running forward right, running forward left. That's as simple as that. So we had done the forward motion, nice and dandy. But how about the backward motion? Okay, we need another blend tree. That we call it backward locomotion. I can go with the same setup for speed to separate walking from running, but I assume that no sane guy will walk backwards when he's trying to run. So I will simply call it backward, and I will go for backward walking. So I will add 3 fields, and again from -1 to 1. The thing that I will use here is a strafe. Okay, the thing to transit here, make transition to here, is if the speed is less than -0.001, and we transit back if the speed is greater than -0.001. Okay, Now, locomotion for backward, or I should say the animations. So walk, ninja walk back, left on top, right on bottom. If I play now, moving backward, hey, we are moving backward and it's working. Now you notice that forward walking is a bit not working properly, but backward is properly working. And you may think, hey, what's going on? Well, it's because of my coding. I restrict forward motion for right and left, but backward it's working. Okay, anyway, we will visit that code because honestly I have issues with that to some extent. Okay, now in this video what we had done is that we done the very basic two things that we need for moving from idle to forward motions and our backward motion. What will happen in next episode is that I will add the swimming first, then I will add the cliff climbing. Oh wait, I have something to do in here. Okay, whatever. In next episode I will do the swimming and cliff climbing for the third episode from now. But what did I forgot? What did I forgot? And it's jump. You have the code, but the character can't jump yet. Okay, the jump is a bit different because I want to be able to jump whenever I'm not swimming, but no matter what other thing I'm doing. So first of all, I need a trigger. Trigger is a new type of variable that they added in Unity. Previously we had booleans and we needed to track the transition. As soon as we came inside the animation, we had to set the boolean to false manually. They added trigger. So when we transit from our state to our animation, the trigger will flip itself. So I want to transit from any state to jump if I have the trigger jump, and I will transit back to idle when that's okay, when my animation for jump is end. Okay, that's our very first any state animations. We will have few of them here, but I told you I want it to happen when I'm not swimming, so I have to do another thing. This time I have to add a boolean, call it swimming. We don't have any code for swimming, we don't have any blend tree for swimming, but I want to avoid jumping, adding when I'm not swimming. So when I'm swimming, false. So when I'm not swimming, I can jump. Okay, and for jump you see it's none. I have jumps and ninja jump. Go on guys, buy this package. Character, what was the name? Character System version 5. It's amazing pack, I'm telling you, with amazing animations. At least for the animations it's completely worth it. Back to the code. Now we need to tweak a bit of stuff. First of all, in RPG Animator I have done everything for time being with private methods. In public methods I will add a public void jump. What do I do in jump? Well, simply I will say the animator dot, remember we had the triggers, sorry, the floats, but we say set trigger, and you see that we have the name. So the trigger we want to add is jump. Okay, but when should we do the jumping? Okay, in here, player RPG motor. First of all, let me check my code from top to bottom. Yeah, where is it happening? Come on, missed it already. By the way, guys, I have the code on the second monitor because honestly I think it works better when I figure things beforehand. And of course I'm looking at a very wrong script, I think. No, that was the correct script. Come on, where is it? Was it in Animator itself? Am I that noob? Yeah. Okay. Player input. An update. We are catching the very first input of the of our gamer. We say if input dot get key down, the key we are looking for is called jump, and yeah, I need to do that part later. We call RPG animator instance jump. So we are catching the key and we say, hey, jump. Okay. But in RPG motor, I had to tweak something. I remember I had to tweak something. Let me pause the video. Yeah, I remember we had a jump code in RPG motor. I'm not sure if I should tweak it. It was in fixed update. When I'm doing this. We are checking if we are not having the jump key hit. Then we are adding the jump timer. Else we check anti-bunny factor, sorry. And then adding a jump speed to direction Y. So this causes the jump, and set the jump timer to 0. Oh, let it be there. Let it be there. Okay. So our player input is responsible for anything that we want to add to animations. Okay. Now, let me go back. Sorry. What I had done is I'm checking if I'm hitting down the jump key. This is the same code as here. Don't forget. Actually, it says get button, not get button down. Let's get key then. Okay. And here I can use that. Why not? Get key, getting rid of that. Player input dot instance dot jump. Okay, so if I now remove that axis, jump axis, from the code, I think we should be okay. changing the code on the fly. Play. Now if I hit the jump key named space, first I should see the character jump up, and second I should see the jump animation. And yeah, but as you noticed, there is something wrong here. Speed is 1. Let's make it, to 2. And let's see what happens now. Not working now because I had to do that. Now, you know what's the problem? Speed is not the problem. The animation itself is the problem, because as you see, our character... didn't I use ninja jump now? No, I didn't use ninja jump. Okay, sorry, my bad. Now, please, will you? If I walk and jump, it's working. Sometimes, not all the times. You know why? I know why. Get button. Let's go back to code. Will this save the issue? The problem is that the animation is not what I said. This is okay. Now this is okay. To some extent, not always. I didn't have the problem again. Okay, whatever. Jump 2. What is that? Jump up. Let's use this guy. Yeah, what the hell? Why are you using that animation? And now you are using this animation completely differently. Let's try something very drastically changed. Sprint jump. Like that. Let's see if it's working at all. Or am I doing something wrong like a noob? So at least I should see the hands. Yeah, it's... yeah, oh. Okay, so it's working. I'm choosing the wrong animation because... Jump. I'm moving from here and the streaming is off. It's false. It's idling. There we go, that's the problem there. What about atomic? Move the jump a bit forward. like, I don't know, I don't care, something like, no, it's okay, I think I need to take a look at here. What do we have in here? Is original, is feet, and why baking to pose? Okay, apply. Better, at least. When do I come back? Make it 0.8, maybe. Okay. I would never thought, you know, the behavior is completely different than what the game is doing. Anyway, what is your rig, sir? Create from this model. Transition back is atomic. Let's take that off. See if anything's changed. Well, you know, it's irrelevant to the point of what we are doing. I'm just playing with the animation and filled the 1 hour tutorial just by playing around. Okay, so as you can see, you can easily tweak stuff. So in this episode we had covered moving forward, moving backward, and jumping. And we are doing the jumping from any state, just like that. I can jump from idle, I can jump from walking, I can jump from running. I'm not even sure if I'm jumping the correct height. Yeah, I shouldn't do running anyway. Let's walk. Choose the player. Where are your goddamn controller? Why don't I see that? Because I closed it. Okay. One thing that you may notice is that when I'm doing jumping, especially when I'm bending, the controller is not. Yeah, I'm doing the correct jump height. If I move my mouse here and let's zoom in to the full height of my character. Where is the lowest? Yeah, it's pretty big high, you know. High jump there. There we go. Okay, you will know what I'm doing when I'm adding an empty game, something like a box, a cube, and let's place there as a placeholder. It's 1 meter tall, don't forget that, and that's the cube. Okay, so yeah, it's a pretty high jump. Okay, I can go and stand on it, and you may notice, voila, some problem here. We are not hitting the ground. The reason for that, can it be skin width or 0.7? Yeah, that's it, 0.1, and we are grounded. Okay, not completely. 0.8. Well, that's because now I need to move the controller a bit higher. 0.2. Maybe not that. This 0.1. 3. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and we are pretty much grounded nicely. So 0.3008. This is 0.08, and this is 0.3. One final thing, make please soft shadows for me, thank you. And there we go, completely planted food. Yeah, jumping, hey. Trying to jump over it, yep, possible. If I hit walk, you know, that's not bad jump actually. The animation itself, what can I say? Go and do your animations if you want. Okay, so in next episode what we will have is swimming. So let me make it happen here to see what will be in next episode. Next episode will be a blend tree. No, it won't be a blend tree. It will be something called sub-state machine. I will speak about them, but for time being, this is our swimming. Have fun, everybody. Bye bye.